She wasn't supposed to be home that early. It was just after 6 p.m. on a rainy Tuesday evening. The streets of suburban Atlanta glistened under the weight of a passing storm, and the wind had started howling like something knew what was about to happen. Emma Carter, a 24-year-old federal prosecutor, pulled into her driveway after a surprise adjournment in court. She was tired, bone-tired. All she wanted was a warm meal and her mother's laugh echoing from the kitchen. But the house was silent. She opened the front door and called out, "Mom? Dad? I'm home." No answer. Then her eyes fell to the floor. Two bodies, motionless, lifeless. Her parents, eyes half open, lips parted, skin pale. No blood, no bruises. Emma dropped to her knees, shaking her mother, then her father screaming, "Please, please wake up. Don't do this to me." Paramedics would later tell her it was fentanyl poisoning, enough to silence them forever if she had arrived just 10 minutes later. Who would do this? She already knew the answer. She had been warned 2 months earlier. Emma had never planned to be a hero, but she'd sworn an oath, and unlike most, she meant it. She was the youngest prosecutor in her district, known for a sharp mind and sharper tongue. While others chose the easy wins, Emma chose the truth, especially when it was buried under blood money. Her current case? The Marino Syndicate, a drug mafia that had plagued Atlanta for over a decade. Most prosecutors refused to go near them. Those who didn't last long. A few were fired. One was disbarred. And one, Emma's own older sister, Clara, had disappeared 5 years ago after agreeing to testify against the syndicate. The case was personal. Emma had promised herself she would finish what her sister started. It began with a sealed evidence box in the courthouse basement. Dusty, untouched. Inside, confidential memos, arrest records, and a burner phone with text messages connecting a sitting councilman, a police captain, and the Marino family's eldest son. Emma didn't just reopen the case. She kicked the devil's door open. At first, the threats were subtle. A note on her windshield, "Truth costs blood." Her apartment door left cracked open. A message whispered to her assistant, she should smile while she still can. But Emma kept going. Every step forward brought her closer to the truth and closer to danger. She partnered with Agent Dean, an ex-narc with a limp and a vendetta. His younger brother had overdosed on Marino-supplied fentanyl in a high school locker room. Together, they tracked down a former cartel enforcer, Miguel Rojas, now living off-grid under a fake name. He agreed to testify, but only in exchange for immunity and protection. "They killed my wife, burned her car while she was in it. You think I still owe them?" Miguel had names, deals, drop zones, everything. And that's when the cartel struck. While driving to a safe house, Emma's car was rammed off the road. The SUV that hit her didn't stop, turned around. As she staggered from the wreck, blood streaming from her temple, two masked men stepped out of the vehicle with guns drawn. But Dean, ever prepared, opened fire from a backup car. The men fled. Emma was hospitalized with a concussion, but she survived. "They're getting desperate," Dean said. "Good," she replied. "So am I." 3 days later, Miguel vanished from protective custody. The guards were drugged. Surveillance footage deleted. Emma was furious. She confronted the police chief, a man who once praised her fearlessness, and accused him of sabotage. "You're protecting them," she spat. "Careful, Emma. You're dancing with fire," he growled. That night, she received a text from a blocked number. "Your sister was warned too." Emma's world spun. Could the cartel have been behind Clara's disappearance all along? Digging through Clara's old case files, Emma discovered a hidden USB drive tucked behind a photo frame. On it, a video confession from Clara. "If you're watching this, it means I'm probably gone. I found proof they launder money through a nonprofit in Midtown. The chairman is their accountant. But if you go after them, they will hurt you too." Emma broke down for the first time in years. But her grief became fire. She would not just win the case. She would burn the Merino Empire to the ground. She didn't expect them to go after her parents. They weren't part of this. The cartel had slipped the fentanyl into a fruit basket delivered to the house. The same kind Emma had refused to accept days earlier. It was meant to send a message. Instead, it sealed their fate. Emma returned to court with her parents still recovering in ICU. She had no witness, no protection, just the evidence and a heart full of fury. But then, just before the final hearing, Agent Dean burst into her office. "We found Miguel. He was trying to flee to Mexico. He's alive and willing to testify." In court, Miguel told the truth. Names, dates, videos. The judge sat stunned as every thread unraveled. Corrupt cops, political bribes, fentanyl shipments disguised as medical supplies. But then gunfire. A hitman in the gallery. Miguel was shot in the shoulder. Chaos. Emma dropped behind the table, blood on her shoes, but she wouldn't run. She stood, face pale, voice shaking. They think fear wins cases, but not this time. Not today. The courtroom fell silent as the jury returned. Guilty on all counts. The Merino Syndicate was dismantled. Over 40 arrests, millions seized. The corrupt councilman tried to flee. He was caught. The police captain was found dead in his home days later, an apparent suicide. Emma's name was etched into history. Her parents survived. Emma later found out that the doctor who treated them was once saved by her sister during a medical malpractice case years ago. Fate had circled back. She never found Clara, but she never stopped searching. Years later, in a quiet park, a woman approached Emma. Gray hoodie, sunglasses, voice trembling. "You never gave up, did you?" Emma froze. The woman pulled back the hood. It was Clara. She had faked her death to stay alive. But now it was over. Emma hugged her like she would never let go. Because sometimes justice isn't just about the law. It's about the people brave enough to chase it. Like, share and subscribe and see you on the next one.